Allen Iverson.
Ezail Iverson is an American former professional basketball player. He played both the point guard and shooting guard positions. Iverson attended Bethel High School in Hampton, Virginia and was a dual-sport athlete. He earned the Associated Press High School Player of the Year award in both football and basketball, and won the Division AAA Virginia state championship in both sports. After high school, Iverson attended Georgetown University for 2 years, where he set the school record for career scoring average and won Big East Defensive Player of the Year awards both years. Following 2 successful years at Georgetown, Iverson declared eligibility for the 1996 NBA draft, and was selected by the Philadelphia 76ers with the number 1 pick. He was named the NBA Rookie of the Year in the 1996-97 season. Iverson was an 11-time NBA All-Star and won the All-Star MVP award in 2001 and 2005. Winning the NBA scoring title during the 1998-99, 2000-01, 2001-02 and 2004-05 seasons, Iverson was one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history, despite his small stature, listed at 6 feet, 0 inches. His regular season career scoring average of 26.7 points per game ranks 6th all-time, and his playoff career scoring average of 29.7 points per game is second only to Michael Jordan. Iverson was also the NBA Most Valuable Player of the 2000 January season and led his team to the 2001 NBA Finals the same season. Iverson represented the United States at the 2004 Summer Olympics, winning the bronze medal. He also played for the Denver Nuggets, Detroit Pistons and the Memphis Grizzlies, before ending his NBA career with the 76ers during the 2009 October season. He was rated the 5th greatest NBA shooting guard of all time by ESPN in 2008. Iverson officially announced his retirement from professional basketball on October 30, 2013.
Early life.
Allen Iverson was born in Hampton, Virginia to his single 15-year-old mother, Ann Iverson, and was given his mother's maiden name after his father Allen Broughton left her. At 8 years of age, Iverson witnessed his first murder. He attended Bethel High School, where he started as quarterbacks for the school football team, while also playing running back, kick returner and defensive back. He also started as point guard for the school basketball team. During his junior year, Allen was able to lead both teams to Virginia state championships, as well as earning the Associated Press High School Player of the Year award in both sports. On February 14, 1993, Iverson and several of his friends became involved in an altercation with several patrons at a bowling alley in Hampton, Virginia. Allegedly, Iverson's crowd was raucous and had to be asked to quiet down several times, and eventually a shouting duel began with another group of youths. Shortly thereafter, a huge fight erupted, pitting the white crowd against the blacks. During the fight, Iverson allegedly struck a woman in the head with a chair. He, along with 3 of his friends who were also black, were the only people arrested. Iverson, who was 17 at the time, was convicted as an adult of the felony charge of maiming by mob, a rarely used Virginia statute that was designed to combat lynching. Iverson and his supporters maintained his innocence, claiming that he left the alley as soon as the trouble began. Iverson said, "For me to be in a bowling alley where everybody in the whole place know who I am and be cracking people upside the head with chairs and think nothing gonna happen? That's crazy. And what kind of a man would I be to hit a girl in the head with a damn chair? I rather have 'em say I hit a man with a chair, not no damn woman." Iverson drew a 15-year prison sentence, with 10 years suspended. After Iverson spent 4 months at Newport News City Farm, a correctional facility in Newport News, Virginia, he was granted clemency by Virginia Governor Douglas Wilder, and the Virginia Court of Appeals overturned the conviction in 1995 for insufficient evidence. This incident and its impact on the community is explored in the documentary film No Crossover, The Trial of Allen Iverson. Iverson said of his time in prison, "I had to use the whole jail situation as something positive. Going to jail, Someone sees something weak in you, they'll exploit it. I never showed any weakness. I just kept going strong until I came out. The prison sentence forced him to complete his senior year of high school at Richard Milburn High School, a school for at-risk students, instead of competing in sports at Bethel. However, the 3 years Iverson spent there were enough to convince famed Georgetown University coach John Thompson to come out and meet Iverson, and offer him a full scholarship to join the Georgetown Hoyas basketball team.
College basketball.
In his first season at Georgetown, Iverson won the Big East Rookie of the Year award and was named to the All-Rookie Tournament first team. That season, Iverson led the Hoyas to the Sweet 16 round of the NCAA tournament, where they would lose to North Carolina. In his second, and final, season at Georgetown, Iverson would lead the team to a Big East championship and all the way to the Elite Eight round of the NCAA tournament, where they would lose to Massachusetts. He ended his college career as the Hoyas' all-time leader in career scoring average, at 22.9 points per game. Iverson would be named as a first-team All-American. Following the conclusion of his sophomore year, Iverson declared for the NBA draft. He would be the first player to leave Georgetown early for the NBA under Coach Thompson.
Professional career 1996 to 2011. Philadelphia 76ers 1996 to 2006. Early years 1996 to 2000.
After 2 seasons at Georgetown, Iverson was selected first overall by the Philadelphia 76ers in the 1996 NBA draft. Listed at 6 feet 0 in, 1.83 m, tall, Iverson became the shortest first overall pick ever, in a league normally dominated by taller players. Coming to a Philadelphia team that had just finished the previous season at 18-64, Iverson was only able to help the Sixers to a 22-60 record. He was however, named the 1996 Rookie of the Year and was also a member of the NBA All-Rookie First Team, after averaging 23.5 points per game, 7.5 assists per game and 2.1 steals per game. Iverson continued to help the 76ers move forward the following season, as they improved 9 games to finish 31-51. The lockout-shortened 1998-1999 season would mark great improvement for the 76ers. Iverson averaged 26.8 points, which led the league, earning his first scoring title, and was named to his first All-NBA first team. The Sixers finished the season at 28-22, earning Iverson his first trip to the playoffs. He started all 10 playoff games and averaged 28.5 points per game despite being hampered by a number of nagging injuries. Iverson led the Sixers to an upset over the number 3-seeded Orlando Magic in 4 games, before losing to the Indiana Pacers in the second round in 6 games. Prior to the next season, Iverson signed a 6-year, $70 million contract extension. That year, the Sixers would continue to improve under Iverson's leadership, as they finished 49-33, once again qualifying for the playoffs, this time earning the 5th seed, 1 spot higher than the previous year's 6th seed. In the playoffs, Iverson averaged 26.2 points, 4.8 assists, 4 rebounds and 1.3 steals per game. Philadelphia would advance past the Charlotte Hornets in the opening round, but was eliminated by Indiana in the second round in 6 games for the second straight year. That season, Iverson was selected to the Eastern Conference All-Star team for the first time of what would be 11 straight selections. He was the only player other than Shaquille O'Neal to receive an MVP vote that year. In the 2000 off-season, the 76ers actively tried to trade Iverson after his numerous disagreements with then-coach Larry Brown, and had agreed to terms with the Detroit Pistons before Matt Geiger, who was included in the deal, refused to forfeit his $5 million trade kicker. When it became apparent that Iverson would remain a member of the Sixers, Iverson and Brown put their differences aside to make another attempt at the NBA championship.
MVP season and trip to the finals 2000-01.
During the 2000 January season, Iverson led his team to wins in the first 10 games of the season, and was named starter at the 2001 NBA All-Star Game, where he won the game MVP. The Sixers also posted a 56-26 record, the best in the Eastern Conference that season. He also averaged a then-career-high 31.1 points, winning his second NBA scoring title in the process. Iverson won the NBA steals title at 2.5 a game. Iverson was named NBA Most Valuable Player. At 6 feet and 165 pounds, he became the shortest and lightest player to win the MVP award. He had 93 first-place votes out of a possible 124. He was also named to the All-NBA First Team for his accomplishments. In the playoffs, Iverson and the Sixers defeated the Indiana Pacers in the first round, before meeting Vince Carter-led Toronto Raptors in the Eastern semifinals. The series went the full 7 games. In the next round, the Sixers defeated the Milwaukee Bucks, also in 7 games, to advance to the 2001 NBA Finals against the defending champion Los Angeles Lakers, featuring the duo of Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. Iverson led the Sixers to their first finals since their 1983 championship. In Game 1 of the 2001 NBA Finals, Iverson scored a playoff-high 48 points and beat the heavily favored Lakers 107-101. It was the Lakers' only playoff loss that year. In the game he notably stepped over Tyronn Lue after hitting a crucial shot. Iverson would go on to score 23, 35, 35, 37 in games 2-5, all losing efforts though the Sixers were not swept like many predicted. Iverson enjoyed his most successful season as an individual and as a member of the Sixers during the 2000 January NBA season. Iverson began using a basketball sleeve during the season during his recovery from bursitis in his right elbow. Other players, including Carmelo Anthony and Kobe Bryant, adopted the sleeves as well, as did fans who wore the sleeve as a fashion statement. Iverson continued wearing his sleeve long after his elbow had healed. Some believed that the sleeve improved Iverson's shooting ability. Stephen Kotler of Psychology Today suggested that such sleeves may act as a placebo to prevent future injuries.
Early playoff exits and Larry Brown's departure 2001-2003.
Fresh off their trip to the finals, Iverson and the Sixers entered the 2001-2002 season with high expectations, but were plagued by injuries, and only able to muster a 43-39 record to just sneak into the playoffs. Despite playing in only 60 games that season and being hampered by injuries, Iverson averaged 31.4 points per game to earn his second consecutive scoring title. The 76ers lost to the Boston Celtics in the first round of the playoffs 3-2 in the 5-game series. After the defeat, Brown criticized Iverson for missing team practices. Iverson responded by saying, "We're sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice," and went on a rant that included the word practice over 20 times. The 2002-2003 season started off poorly for the Sixers, who had just traded defensive standout Dikembe Mutombo to New Jersey, and saw a decrease in both offensive and defensive production from Aaron Mackey and Eric Snow, all three of whom were key components to their finals appearance 2 years prior. Iverson would once again put up stellar scoring numbers, 27.6 points per game, however, and the Sixers regrouped following the All-Star break to make the playoffs with a 48-34 record. They were able to defeat Baron Davis and the New Orleans Hornets in the opening round of the playoffs, before being eliminated by the Detroit Pistons in the second round after a 6-game series. Head coach Larry Brown left the 76ers in 2003, following the playoff loss. After his departure from the 76ers, both he and Iverson indicated that the two were on good terms and genuinely fond of one another. Iverson later reunited with Brown when Iverson became the co-captain of the 2004 United States Olympic men's basketball team. In 2005, Iverson said that Brown was without a doubt the best coach in the world.
Disappointment and frustration 2003-2006.
Randy Ayers became the next coach of the 76ers, but failed to develop any chemistry with his players, and was fired following a 21-31 start to the season. During the latter part of the 2003 April NBA season, Iverson bristled under the disciplinarian approach of the Sixers interim head coach Chris Ford. This led to a number of contentious incidents, including Iverson being suspended for missing practice, fined for failing to notify Ford that he would not attend a game because he was sick, and refusing to play in a game because he felt insulted that Ford wanted Iverson to come off the bench as he worked his way back from an injury. Iverson missed a then-career-high 34 games in a disastrous season that saw the Sixers miss the postseason for the first time since the 1997 season. The 2004-2005 season saw Iverson and the Sixers bounce back under the tutelage of new head coach Jim O'Brien, and additions of their first-round draft pick Andre Iguodala, and All-Star forward Chris Webber, who was acquired in a mid-season trade. A rejuvenated Iverson won his fourth NBA scoring title with 31 points and averaged 8 assists for the year, and helped the 76ers climb back into the postseason with a 43-39 record. They would go on to lose to the eventual Eastern Conference champion Detroit Pistons, who were led by Larry Brown, in the first round. In the series, Iverson had 3 double-doubles, including a 37-point, 15-assist performance in Philadelphia's lone win of the series. Despite O'Brien helping the team back into the postseason, disagreements with players and management led to his firing after just one season. He was replaced by Sixers legend Morris Cheeks, in a personal move Iverson praised, as Cheeks had been an assistant coach with the team when they reached the finals in 2001. During the 2005-2006 season, Iverson averaged a career-high 33.0 points per game. The Sixers however missed the playoffs for the second time in 3 years. On April 18, 2006, Iverson and Chris Webber arrived late to the Sixers Fan Appreciation Night and home game finale. Players are expected to report 90 minutes before game time, but both Iverson and Webber arrived around tip-off. Coach Morris Cheeks notified the media that neither would be playing and general manager Billy King announced that Iverson and Webber would be fined. During the 2006 off-season, trade rumors had Iverson going to Denver, Atlanta, or Boston. None of the deals were completed. Iverson had made it clear that he would like to stay a Sixer. Iverson and the Sixers began the 2006 July NBA season at 3-0 before stumbling out to a 5-10 record through 15 games. Following the disappointing start, Iverson reportedly demanded a trade from the Sixers, although he would deny that. As a result, Iverson was told he would not play in any more games. During the following game against the Washington Wizards, which was televised nationally on ESPN, Sixers chairman Ed Snyder confirmed the trade rumors by stating, "We're going to trade him. At a certain point, you have to come to grips with the fact that it's not working. He wants out and we're ready to accommodate him." Iverson ended his 10-year Philadelphia tenure with the highest scoring average in team history, 28.1, and is second all-time on the points list, 19,583, and the Sixers did not win another playoff series after his departure until 2012.
Denver Nuggets 2006-2008.
On December 19, 2006, the Philadelphia 76ers sent Iverson and forward Ivan McFarland to the Denver Nuggets for Andre Miller, Joe Smith, and 2 first-round picks in the 2007 NBA Draft. At the time of the trade, Iverson was the NBA's number 2 leading scorer, with new teammate Carmelo Anthony being number 1. On December 23, 2006, Iverson played his first game for the Nuggets. He had 22 points and 10 assists in a losing effort to the Sacramento Kings. In Iverson's first year as a Nugget, they made the playoffs. They won the first game and lost the next 4 to the San Antonio Spurs. Iverson was fined $25,000 by the NBA for criticizing referee Steve Javie following a game between the Nuggets and Iverson's former team, the Philadelphia 76ers, played January 2, 2007. During the course of the game, Iverson committed 2 technical fouls and was ejected from the game. After the game, Iverson said, "I thought I got fouled on that play, and I said I thought that he was calling the game personal. I should have known that I couldn't say anything anyway. It's been something personal with me and him since I got in the league. This was just the perfect game for him to try and make me look bad." Former referee Tim Donaghy supported the claim that JV had a long-standing hatred for Iverson in his book, Personal Foul, a first-person account of the scandal that rocked the NBA, which a Florida business group published through a self-publishing arm of Amazon.com after it was dropped by a division of Random House, who cited liability issues after reviewing the manuscript. In a December 2009 interview with 60 Minutes, Donaghy said he and fellow referees thought the punishment was too light. Before Iverson's Nuggets played the Utah Jazz on January 6, 2007, Donaghy said he and the two other officials working the game agreed not to give Iverson favorable calls as a way to teach him a lesson. Iverson attempted 12 free throws, more than any other player on either team. On 12 drives to the basket, he drew 5 fouls, 3 of which Donaghy whistled himself, and did not receive a call on one play in which he was obviously fouled by Utah's Mehmet Okur. Iverson returned to Philadelphia on March 19, 2008 to a sellout crowd and received a standing ovation in a 115-113 loss.
Detroit Pistons and Memphis Grizzlies 2008-2009.
On November 3, 2008, Iverson was dealt from the Denver Nuggets to the Detroit Pistons for guard Chauncey Billups, forward Antonio McDermott and center Cheick Sam. Iverson, who had worn a number 3 jersey his entire NBA career, switched to number 1 for the Pistons. Iverson scored at least 24 in 4 of his first 5 games with Detroit. They won 3 of the 5, and would score 20 or more and 6 or more assists on a consistent basis, but as the season wore on he would lose playing time to Rodney Stuckey. On April 3, 2009, it was announced by Pistons president of basketball operations Joe Dumars that Iverson would not play the remainder of the 2008 September season. Dumars cited Iverson's ongoing back injury as the reason for his deactivation, although 2 days prior Iverson stated publicly that he'd rather retire than be moved to the bench as Pistons coach Michael Curry had decided. On September 10, 2009, Iverson signed a 1-year contract with the Memphis Grizzlies. Iverson stated that God chose Memphis as the place that I will continue my career, and that I feel that they are committed to developing a winner. However, Iverson again expressed his displeasure at being a bench player, and left the team on November 7, 2009 for personal reasons. On November 16, the Grizzlies announced the team terminated his contract by mutual agreement. Iverson played 3 games for the Grizzlies, averaging 12.3 ppg, 1.3 rpg, and 3.7 apg and 22.3 mpg.
Return to the 76ers 2009-2010.
On November 25, 2009, commentator Stephen A. Smith published on his blog a statement attributed to Iverson announcing plans for retirement, which also said, "I feel strongly that I can still compete at the highest level." Less than a week later on November 30, Iverson and his representatives met with the Philadelphia 76ers delegation about returning to his former team, and accepted a contract offer 2 days later. General manager Ed Stefanski declined to go into the terms of the agreement, but an unnamed source told the Associated Press that Iverson agreed to a 1-year non-guaranteed contract at the league minimum salary. Iverson would receive a prorated portion of the $1.3 million minimum salary for players with at least 10 years of experience, and the contract would become guaranteed for the remainder of the 2009 October season if he remained on the roster on January 8, 2010. Stefanski said the team made the decision to pursue Iverson after starting guard Louis Williams suffered a broken jaw and was expected to miss at least 30 games. On December 7, 2009, Iverson made his return to Philadelphia, garnering a thunderous ovation from the sold-out crowd, in a loss against his former team, the Denver Nuggets. He finished the game with 11 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, a steal and no turnovers. Iverson's first win in his return to Philadelphia came 1 week later, in a 20-point effort against the Golden State Warriors, ending the Sixers' 12-game losing streak, which stood at 9 games before Iverson returned. On February 22, 2010, Iverson left the 76ers indefinitely, citing the need to attend to his 4-year-old daughter Messiah's health issues. He had missed 5 games earlier in February and missed the All-Star game after he was voted in as a starter. On March 2, Ed Stefanski announced Iverson would not return to the 76ers for the rest of the season.
Besiktas 2010-2011.
On October 26, 2010, Yahoo! Sports reported that Iverson agreed in principle to a 2-year, $4 million net income contract with Besiktas, a Turkish basketball league team competing in the second-tier level of Pan-European professional basketball, the Euro Cup, the competition below the EuroLeague level. The club announced the signing at a press conference in New York City, on October 29, 2010. Wearing jersey number 4, Iverson made his debut for Besiktas on November 16, 2010, in a Euro Cup 91-94 loss to Serbian side Hemo Farm. Iverson scored 15 points in 23 minutes. Iverson returned to the United States in January 2011 for calf surgery. He only played 10 games for Besiktas that season, and did not play professional basketball after that.
Official retirement.
In January 2013, Iverson received an offer to play for the Texas Legends of the NBA D-League, but he declined. On October 30, 2013, Iverson announced his retirement from basketball, citing he had lost his desire to play. At the 76ers' 2013-14 season home opener that night, he received a standing ovation at the beginning of the second quarter. The retirement ceremony was attended by former Georgetown coach John Thompson and Sixers great Julius Erving. Iverson said he'll always be a Sixer until I die, and that while he always thought the day he retired would be a tough day, he instead stated it was rather a happy day. In November 2013, the 76ers announced that they will officially retire Iverson's number 3 in a special halftime ceremony on March 1, 2014 when the Sixers host the Washington Wizards. The ceremony went ahead in front of 20,000 spectators and 76ers greats such as Julius Erving, Moses Malone, and former team president Pat Rose.
International career. 1995 World University Games.
Iverson was a member of the USA World University Games team in Japan in 1995, that included future NBA stars Ray Allen and Tim Duncan, among others. Iverson led all USA players in scoring, assists and steals, averaging 16.7 points per game, 6.1 assists per game, and 2.9 steals per game. He helped lead the team to an undefeated record en route to a 141-81 victory over the host country, Japan, for the gold medal.
2003 FIBA Americas Championship.
Iverson was selected to be part of Team USA for the 2003 FIBA Americas Olympic qualifying tournament in Puerto Rico in August of that year. USA had a perfect 10-0 record, and won the gold medal as well as qualifying for a berth in the 2004 Olympics. Iverson started all 8 games that he played in, and was second on the team with 14.3 points per game, while also posting 3.8 assists per game, 2.5 rebounds per game, 1.6 steals per game, and shooting 56.2%, 41-73 FGs, from the field, 53.6%. 15-28 3-points FGs, from 3-point and 81.0%, 17-21 FTs, from the foul line. In the USA's 111-71 victory over Canada on August 25, he accounted for a USA Olympic qualifying single-game record 28 points and made a single-game record 7 3-pointers. Playing just 23 minutes, he shot 10 for 13 overall, 7 for 8 from 3-point, 1 for 1 from the foul line and added 3 assists, 3 steals and 1 rebound. All 7 of his 3-point field goals were made during the final 7:41 of the third quarter. He finished the tournament ranked overall, tied for 10th in scoring, tied for 4th in steals, 5th in three-point percentage, tied for 7th in assists, and 9th in field goal percentage, .562. Iverson also missed the USA's final 2 games because of a sprained right thumb which was suffered in the first half of the August 28 Puerto Rico game. In a game against Puerto Rico, he recorded 9 points on 4 for 6 shooting from the field overall, and added 5 assists and 3 rebounds in 26 minutes of action in the USA's 101-74 exhibition game victory on August 17 in New York. He was also named to the 2003 USA Senior National Team on April 29, 2003.
NBA career statistics. Playoffs. Attempt at a musical career.
During the 2000 off-season, Iverson recorded a rap single called 40 Bars. However, after being criticized for its controversial lyrics, he eventually was unable to release it. Going under his moniker, Jules, the album was alleged to have made derogatory remarks about homosexuals. After criticism from activist groups and NBA Commissioner David Stern, he agreed to change the lyrics, but ultimately never released the album.
Legal and financial problems.
During the 1997 off-season, Iverson and his friends were stopped by policemen for speeding late at night and was arrested for carrying a concealed weapon and for possession of marijuana. He pleaded no contest and was sentenced to community service. On February 24, 2004, Iverson urinated in a trash can at Bally's Atlantic City Casino and was told by casino management not to return. On December 9, 2005, after the Sixers defeated the Charlotte Bobcats, Iverson paid a late-night visit to the Trump Taj Mahal. After winning a hand at a 3-card stud poker table, Iverson was overpaid $10,000 in chips by a dealer. When the dealer quickly realized the mistake and requested the chips back, Iverson refused and a heated head-turning argument between him and casino staff began. Atlantic City casino regulations reportedly state that when a casino makes a payout mistake in favor of the gambler, he or she must return the money that they did not legitimately win by playing. Also in 2005, Iverson's bodyguard Jason Kane was accused of assaulting a man at a Washington, D.C. nightclub after the man, Marlon Godfrey, refused to leave the club's VIP section so Iverson's entourage could enter. Godfrey suffered a concussion, a ruptured eardrum, a burst blood vessel in his eye, a torn rotator cuff, cuts and bruises, and emotional injuries. Although Iverson did not touch Godfrey himself, Godfrey sued Iverson for the injuries caused by his bodyguard. In 2007, a jury awarded Godfrey $260,000. The United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit upheld the verdict in 2009. In a Philadelphia Inquirer column published March 7, 2010, Stephen A. Smith wrote that according to numerous NBA sources, Iverson would either drink himself into oblivion or gamble his life away, and that Iverson had already been banned from casinos in Detroit and Atlantic City. Smith also wrote that Tawana, his wife of 8 years, had separated from him and filed for divorce, seeking custody of their 5 children, as well as child support and alimony payments. In November 2010, Kate Fagan, a 76ers beat writer for the Inquirer, reported that Iverson was broke, and heavily in debt, by all accounts except his own, and that a member of Iverson's family had previously contacted NBA teams about a contract for him, as he would not be able to pay that person without a contract. In August 2011, an Ohio man sued Iverson for $2.5 million in damages, claiming he was assaulted by Iverson's security guard in a 2009 bar fight in Detroit. The federal judge dismissed the case, finding no evidence that Iverson or his bodyguard struck the plaintiff, Guy Walker.